good evening, and welcome to the return of the Blue Table. Welcome back to Blue Table Talk. My name is Tawana Collins Booth, and I have my sidekick. We've been off for a while, but we back. My sidekick here today, Mr. Arnell Brady, speech language pathologist. And today we have two special guests with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Kim Jones, and I'm here with my daughter Alina, and I'm here representing all of the special parents.
And today we're going to be talking about advocating in the school system. So, Mr. Brady?
Yes, and I think this is a very important topic because a couple of years ago, the United States Supreme Court found that the public schools in America were not providing quality educational services free to children enrolled in the special education program. And they ruled with a unanimous vote. That is, all of the Supreme Court justices said that public schools in America should provide quality educational services to children enrolled in the special education programs in America. And what we have found, even though the Supreme Court ruled on that, we have found that some schools, some public schools, are still not providing quality educational services to children enrolled in the special education program. What we have found is that many schools are simply maintaining the handicap of the student until they can, in a sense, graduate the student and get rid of the student. And we have seen now that the 2019-20 school year has started, and I must say that the Chicago Public School Special Education Program is being monitored by the federal government for not providing quality special educational services. And so the Chicago Public Schools is making an effort to put on a good face in terms of providing services. So what they're doing is coming up with a lot of so-called services to these students on paper. But when we look carefully at these programs, none of the programs are really dealing with helping the student to become a better student.
True.
It simply is preparing the student to learn how to live with their handicap. And that's not what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court ruling clearly stated that we are supposed to help that student overcome the handicap. And Mrs. Jones is here today because I think that her situation is an example of that. Would you agree, Mrs. Jones?
I do. I agree very much so. My daughter graduated from 8th grade recently. She's transitioning to high school, and the same struggle that we had in elementary school, I'm facing a similar struggle with high school, and it's just starting. I'm really fighting for her to be educated, and CPS seems to think that, I just feel like they think that her education life is already set. She's already set. She's already got a path that she has to go down, and there's no other alternative routes for her.
She's reached her peak, in a sense.
She's reached her peak.
And that is not true.
Yes.
Right.
So in my mind, we're just starting, She's this freshman year. We're just starting. It's a new opportunity to kind of like reset and maybe make some gains so that she can be on the track to live a normal life and go to college and pursue a profession of her choice. So.
And they have her primarily enrolled in what type of classes?
Like life skills, learning life skills.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's going to be a fight for me to get her into some more, I'm going to say, well-rounded courses, or courses that the gen ed population would attend. So right now it's life skills. They're focused on that resume writing, cover letter writing. I'm like, are we really ready for that? I mean, and does she really need to start thinking about what career she really wants to have at this stage? Should she really know, or should we limit her her goals for her future at this stage? I mean, because she's still learning. She can still learn more. And
so what are they doing in terms of, say, helping to improve her memory or helping to improve her reading comprehension? It sounds like they're saying we're stopping with our education of her in terms of making her a better learner. We're now going to stop at this point and teach her how to get a job with what she has. Right. And she's a freshman. She just started school. Right. And, you know, it really raises a red flag in my mind and causes some fear, because I heard one of the former CEOs who had came out to one of the Chicago public schools and was talking to the parents. And this was a high school. And the parents were asking for more reading programs in the schools. And the head, the CEO of the Chicago public schools, said high school was not a place to be teaching reading. Unbelievable. Totally unbelievable. You know, the place to teach reading is any place that the student is in need of reading instruction, whether it be grammar school, elementary, high school, or college. You know, I know of some colleges that are still teaching reading. So for him to say that, and he's the head of the schools, what are the teachers and the principals saying? You know, they're saying, well, we don't have to teach reading. Let's now just teach them how to fill out a resume and move them on. We don't have to teach them anymore. Let's just keep them safe here in the school and maintain their disability and move them on. Well, I don't think parents should settle for that. I think parents should be more aggressive. And I know that's a rough word, but parents should be.
But you have to be aggressive. If you're not aggressive, then that's exactly what will happen. They'll just let everything go by, so they could just, okay, next thing you know, she'll be a sophomore, junior, senior, and okay, she's out of our hands. So that's what they want. So you have to be aggressive. That's true. I agree with you, Mr. Brady, on that note. So
parents have to be more aggressive. They have to go after more robust goals and objectives and interventions, because we see if we leave it up to the schools, they're going to take the easy road. They're going to take the easy road out. And in many cases, that's not really helping the student. We have to be on these schools, and we have to go as a team, you know. And it's things like this Blue Table Talk, you know, that's bringing the light to a lot of these situations. And we have to share more of this.
Yeah, and then it's sad that, you know, she's feeling this way already.
Yeah,
School just started.
Yeah.
You know, so like you said, you already went through grammar school. She graduated, you're thinking like, oh, I'm excited. She's going to a new school, but that's never really the case, because when they go to a new school, that's a shame. We always feel like, okay, I just got to deal with a new group of people to fight with.
Right.
And that's always the case.
Yeah.
And that's what we think. You know, we think like, okay, another school, there's just a whole nother fight that I have to. When will the fighting end? When will they just do what they're supposed to do? Their job.
Things get a little easier for us. Yeah.
Now, you had a situation at your daughter's high school. Would you share that with us? With I think one of the principals or one of the counselors asked her, what did she want to be?
Oh, yes. He shared with me, I went to a parent night, that my daughter, when he asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up, she stated that she wanted to be a doctor. Which I think is great, right?
Right.
So, but then he took it a little step further when she said that, and I think it's because of her disability. And he said, "What kind of doctor?" And my daughter said, "A good doctor."
Mm-hmm.
And so he laughed. And so I took that. I took offense to that. I felt like that was definitely a teaching moment where he could have explained to her and said, "Well, you know what? There are all types of doctors out there, Alina. You could be a doctor that works with children. You could be a pediatrician. You could be a cardiologist. You could be a gynecologist." It was a teaching moment. And as opposed to making that be a teaching moment, I think he just took it and made light of it. And so I think that we need teachers who have that kind of mindset, that they're always in a position to teach and to guide students. And I think that if her, it was mainly because of her disability. You know,
because he could have even gave like, okay, well, I know this school, this would be a good school for her to go learn how to be a doctor.
Right.
Instead of that, the laughing, you know, like, oh, really, you know, was insult. So.
Or let's look at her IEP and see how that is preparing her for what she has said her goal should be.
Right.
You know, are we doing our job? You know, if this is what she says she wants to be, it's our responsibility, our job to prepare her, to give her the courses, to give her the instruction. You know, it's like they're saying she can't overcome this. Well, she surely can't overcome it by herself.
Right.
But it is us, the paid professionals, who are supposed to help her. That's, you know, and this is what the Supreme Court has said. This is why I get so, you know, upset about this issue. The Supreme Court has said, no, you know, and one of the CEOs of the public school even said this. They said, we're not supposed to give quality education. We're supposed to give basic education.
What?
You know, these are the people leading the schools. We're supposed to give basic education, not quality education. If you want quality education, you got to go, you know, to some private
I was just going to say,
institution
but you got to go to private.
and pay for it. But the Supreme Court said, the highest court in the land said, no, the public schools in America are supposed to be providing quality education. You know, we either have to change our educators and administrators and get those who believe in children on a true sense, because anybody who would say something like that does not believe in children and helping children and helping to foster and nurture their development. That's somebody probably who's just out to get a paycheck and just moving children like they're numbers and not even considering the fact that they are human. So, you know, as we go forward, I want parents to get more involved in these IEPs. You know, you cannot just sit at your job or at home and expect the schools to do what they are supposed to do in terms of helping your child become the best that they can be. What they are going to do is provide an environment that will maintain their paycheck.
Exactly.
So that's why, you know, like your show here today is really important. I mean, just the awareness that you're giving people, I think is really important. And that things like this, just seeing and then coming together, us being here, we all have our experiences with fighting that battle, with educating our children, and then just knowing that you're not alone is really, really helpful. So thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you coming, speaking out. You know, we go through this like all the time, like you said. There's so many other parents out there with this same issue. School just started. They have to start the fight all over again. A new high school, a new group of people to fight with, which that just shouldn't be the case. Our kids should all get quality education no matter what school they go to. Wherever they go, it should be across the board the same for all of them. And they should go on to be whatever they want to be in life. a doctor, a photographer, whatever it is they would like to do in life. And that's our job as parents to help them. And as teachers, that's their job to push them forward to that too, to help them get the skills that they need also. But when we have parents like you out here advocating, and again, like I spoke to you earlier about this, I know you didn't want to speak on this, but again, I've been coming to Mr. Brady for what? How many years now? About 16, over 16 years now, because George is 19 now. So since once he first got his diagnosis, I looked up the best speech therapy. Well, I didn't say the best speech therapy, but it was on a monitor computer at that time. It wasn't my phone, and I called him, and from that day, we was stuck at the hip. He can't get away. But I have always seen you bring your daughter to Brady's Speech. So, and that's what I always wanted to tell people is staying consistent in getting the services for your child.
Yeah.
And like I said, for all those years, I have ran into you getting the services for your child at Brady's Speech.
Yeah.
And just because your child gets to high school, don't think that the fight ends, because the fight surely didn't end with your child in high school. As a matter of fact, I think it got a little worse.
No, the fight don't never end. Whatever school they go to, college, it's just like you said, it's just a new fight, a new group of people to express your concerns to and let them know that you're serious about getting education for and advocating for your child. And but when they notice that, they will do a little better.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, yeah. After I had that parent night, they look a little different.
Yeah.
I said okay.
So in the beginning, they just don't know how hard you're gonna fight right now.
Yeah.
But when they see how hard you're gonna fight for your daughter, they're gonna just be like, okay, she's not to be playing
now we
with.
know. Yeah.
So we're gonna try to do the best that we can do to keep her off of us. So that's what they'll do. They might not give you the best services, but they gonna do the best to keep you up. When they know you watching and that you're advocating, they're gonna at least try to do their best.
Yeah.
Some of them.
And now I think what I want to switch or evolve into is having Alina do a little bit more advocating for herself. So trying to teach her now as she gets older, and so that's a big change for us. Just inviting her to the IEP sessions and teaching her what an IEP is what I'm looking to do right now. So it's a whole new world for us.
And Elena, I have one question for you before we leave.
Yeah.
You've been coming with Brady's Speech for a lot of years. How do you like Brady's Speech?
It was good.
It was good. You like coming?
Yes.
And you learn new things?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted her to tell about the services that she has been receiving from Brady's Speech all these years. And as I always end with, if you want to get the best speech therapy services on the south side of Chicago, contact Brady's Speech. And I want to thank all of the new people that then contacted and came and brought their kids to Brady's Speech because of Blue Table Talk. I thank you all. I want to thank all of my new viewers. I want to thank all of my new YouTube subscribers. I just want to thank everybody for your support. I want to thank Chicago Autism Connection, CAC. Thank you all. Answer Inc., Deborah Vines. I want to thank you all. A Place for Me, my organization I'm a board member of, All Families United. I want to thank all of you all, because all of us out here together is just doing things to make it a better life for our children. So if you want to contact Brady's Speech,
773-493-4000.
there you go. So thank you all for watching and tuning in. Tune in to us next week for another episode of Blue Table Talk, the return of Blue Table Talk. Thank you all so much. Have a good night. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.